Here are 7 rules to make high converting landing pages in 2024. Let's get into that now. Here we go. Hey everybody, if you are thinking about doing an equity crowdfunding campaign in 2024, one of the steps that we see missed all the time is having high engaging landing pages. Not your offering page, but landing pages where people can land, learn a little bit more, experience before you start asking them for money, right? So if you think about a funnel, people need to learn about who you are before they start investing. So because of that, I like to drop people off at landing pages before I start asking them to invest in me. Very few people are going to go immediately to an offering page and just give you money right out of the gate. That doesn't happen very often. It does here and there. I'm not saying it doesn't happen once in a while, but we typically need to warm that audience up a little bit more before we start asking them for money. So because of that, we like to drop people off at landing pages. Now, here are 7 things to be thinking about when you're building out those landing pages. Let's get into those right now. First and foremost, number 1 is going to be message to audience fit. I want that line to be as straight as possible. So if you have an investor persona, you want to build a page that speaks to them, not a hope and a prayer that one page speaks to everybody. You want your message to your audience to be as straight a line as possible. Second thing is going to be page structure. How are you laying this page out? How are you getting people to be interested enough to scroll down to get to that bottom? So where do you put that call to action? Do you have a zigzag of benefits and features? Do you have a headline with a dream outcome? Is there a description of what you are trying to do if you were to raise that capital? Not the terms, because that needs to be over on your offering page, but just what happens if you do what you think you're going to do. So again, page structure is going to be super important, and that's going to be number 2. Number 3, these are going to be emotional triggers. Is there social proof of what you think you're going to do or what your company does? Are there testimonials? Have you been impressed? Meaning that you can put their logos on your page. Is there, proof of work, right? Like, why are you investable in this? Have you done this before? Is there a scarcity? Maybe you have a perk that's going to be ending at some point, right? So maybe you put that on there. So again, trying to think about what those emotional triggers are super important in these campaign landing pages as well. Number 5, let's get into positioning. Are you defining a strong position? Like, hey, if my widget becomes the new thing in the world, this is going to change. You are going to be better off if this happens. Is there an artistic direction that's on this that just makes it feel like, man, this is really cutting edge stuff here? Does the flow and the layout look modern, right? Does it have a good look and feel to like feeling like, hey, this is something that I really want to get behind? If your page doesn't have that, most time people are just going to move on to the next thing. What is your call to action? This is number 6 here. Your call to action needs to be incredibly defined. A big mistake I see all the time is 2 or 3 different call to actions on a page. People just don't have time for that one call to action. Most of the time in this scenario, it's going to be a learn more and click over to the investment page, right? So you're going to go from the audience, that so you have your audience or your investor persona. You're going to land on a landing page. People are going to click that invest now or learn more button, and then they're going to go over to the portal or where the offering is. So again, that is something that you want to make sure that call to action is crystal clear. What do you want them to do? All right, number 7. Key metrics. Is your page working? Is it not working, right? So is your page loading really quickly? Are you looking at, is it converting, right? So you should be able to set up a very simple funnel to say traffic, landing page, investment, right? Like they get to the investment page. So you're looking at that. Is there things that you can do to have improvements? Can you have different variations? So one of the things that we do quite a bit is, yes, I'll build out the first page, but I'll have 7 or 8 different variations off of that. It's very simple to hit duplicate, move stuff around, and see if you can get better traction with a little bit of a different messaging, maybe a different video edit at the top. So again, don't be afraid to play around and have different iterations of that landing page. All right, everybody, I hope this helps. Again, most of the time, just driving traffic into any portal page is just not going to get investors immediately. It's further down the funnel. So again, use these landing pages. Make sure that they're as straight a line as possible. Really, that first one is the most important thing, making sure that we are aligning your message to audience is as straight a line as possible. All right, if you need help with this, please reach out. This is what we do, or at least just send over your page. Let us give a quick look at it, and we'll just give you some quick advice just looking at it. So, all right, everybody, Go raise that capital. If you need some help, reach out. Later.